you believe in the commentator's curse?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is F1 Tonight Netherlands, Season 7, Round number 10, the British Grand Prix. I am your host, Daniel Hazzah. And joining me, as always, is the fantastic, the incredible, statistical mastermind, that is Adrian Stats Rich. How are you, sir?
Very, very well. Thank you, Dan. Thank you. Good to be here for our home Grand Prix.
Indeed, and, yeah. Oh, well, not quite theirs, but yeah, it's certainly ours. There we go, I'm back. Right, let's take a look at the driver standings following the Grand Prix of Austria last week. So, the top spot now taken by Boy Williamson, who did a good job to win from P2 last time out. He's now leading the way on 165 points for Ferrari. Nicky Visser holds on to P2, but only 1 point behind P1 after doing a great job coming from all the way at the back to finish P2 last week. He's on 164 points for Toro Rosso. In first as well, apparently. 2 first places there. He's actually second, ignore that. P3, Jamie Hartman on 105 points for Alfa Romeo. And we got his teammate Baz Den Brain on 103. Silverstone is 5th for McLaren. Marcel Droning 6th for Red Bull. Sander Herman for Ferrari is 7th. John Donk for Toro Rosso is 8th. Guido Urshan for Red Bull 9th. Ari Kopp still holding on to P10 for Williams. Paul Quarret is 11th for Mercedes. Mark Stappers for Renault is 12th. Nisham Hadwasing is 13th in the McLaren. Martin Parder Cooper for Williams 14th. Peter Philip in the Renault is 15th. Barry Deepervane is 16th in the Haas. Niels Eekma, also in the Haas, is 17th. I don't know why it says 18th. 18th is the Mercedes and Miguel Torni. And we've got Aston Eaglemeesh is the new Racing Point driver, and his teammate Koen Skippers also in the Racing Point. Obviously, those guys down the back of the grid with no points at the moment. This is the first race of the season, so we wish them the best of luck for tonight. But there we have the standings, and apologies for all those numbers being out of place. I don't know why that's happened. But there you have it. So pretty close at the top of the field, only 1 point between the leaders.
Yes, yeah, and it just seemed like there's a few battles going on in the sort of various positions in the table. You got that battle for P1, yeah, as you say, just 1 point between the former teammates, Boy Williamson and Nicky Visser. Boy Williamson won this race last season. Silverstone was second in that race, and then you've got another battle for it looks like for P3 between the 2 Alfa Romeos and Silverstone, and then kind of best of the rest for P6 with Dronig, Hermans, John Donkel, Guido Urshan. So yeah, the table's kind of developing a bit as you'd expect as you approach the halfway point of the season.
Yeah, indeed, and even that second half, sort of 11th down all the way to the back of the grid, that even our new drivers included in that, they're all fighting for P11 effectively, aren't they? I mean, there's not much points between any of them in that sort of second half.
No, that's right, and the 2 new drivers in particular, you know, they're obviously unknown quantities. You know, one good debut here, and yeah, they'll rocket right up that table.
Absolutely, yeah. And Ari Kopp still holding on to P10. He's actually closing up to Guido a bit after Guido didn't score points last week, so we'll see how he gets on. He might close up to even challenge for P9 at some point.
Yeah, great result from Ari last week. Really impressive stuff, and he's another driver who seems to have sort of found his mojo.
Yeah, absolutely. But let's have a look at the Constructors' Championship following Austria. Ferrari still lead the way on 220 points. Toro Rosso second on 216. Alfa Romeo are third with 208. McLaren are up 1 place with 103 points. And Red Bull down 1 with 102. 1 point between those guys. Williams on 31 in 6th place. Mercedes 7th with 12 points. Renault have 10 points in 8th. And the Haas guys have 2 points in 9th. And of course, the Racing Point guys will be scoring points, hopefully, for the first time tonight with their new drivers. But still, it's still close between those top 3, isn't it? I mean, they were much closer last week, but still only, 12 points between the first and third.
Yeah, just 3 points between them last week, as you alluded to there, between the top 3. But yeah, they're still it's still very, very tight in those top 3. There's no clear indication of who is actually going to win the constructors at this stage. And again, you've got a second battle going on, only 1 point in it, but for P4 between the Red Bulls and the McLarens.
Yeah, those two guys very close. Obviously, McLaren having a good race last week, so they pipped them by just 1 point. And it's still close again, like we see in the driver standings. The constructors still have that close battle from 6th down to 10th, don't they? Really, a good result for one of those teams can put them up quite a few places.
Yeah, exactly. And again, I'll be keeping my eye on the new drivers for Racing Point. Total unknown performances. So you just don't know where they're going to end up.
No, certainly not. Fingers crossed they'll have a good performance tonight. So let's have a look at the track for this evening. Of course, the Silverstone circuit here in Britain. Circuit length tonight of 5.891 kilometres with a race length of the usual 306.198 and 52 laps around this circuit. So sector 1 takes us from the start finish line all the way up to near enough turn 6 through Abbey, Farm, Village, the Loop and Aintree, that winding first sector. Second sector then comes down the Wellington Straight through Brooklands and Luffield, that great complex there, and through the fast right-hander of Woodcote and Copse, and then through the iconic Maggots-Beckett's complex there, that winding left-right, left again, and then right onto Chapel. Then up the Hanger Straight, through that very fast right-hander of Stowe, down through Vale, and then 16 and 17, that final chicane, exits round then the final right-hander of Club across the start-finish line. The first detection point for DRS is just before Village at turn 3, and that activates down the Wellington Straight. And the second detection point just after Maggots, before turn 11, and that activates down the Hanger Straight all the way up to Stowe, with the speed trap at the end of that fastest point on the circuit, the end of Hanger Straight. So, very exciting circuit, of course, the home of Formula 1 really. It's where the first race happened back in the 50s. It's a track that's sort of grown on me. I don't know how you find it, Adrian.
It's kind of a bit hit and miss with me. I absolutely love to watch the British Grand Prix, but to participate, it's very much up and down. Maggots and Beckett's is sort of iconic few corners there. It's those in particular that do tend to catch me out, as they do some other drivers as well. It's quite heavily reliant on a comfortable setup, really, rather than a fast setup. That's from my own experience, but it should be a good one.
A lot of corners that are sort of self-dependent, like you mentioned, and a lot of fast corners that are really either you have to be really confident going through, or you just get lucky. Things like Copse and then the Maggots and Beckett's complex. If you get the right line through there, or you don't have enough downforce, it can be quite sort of difficult to get those bits of track work for you, isn't it? And you mentioned Copse, the old turn 1. That's a corner where it's very much a case of he who dares wins, because that one you find that you go around it at a speed, maybe 170 miles an hour, and then you find on the following lap you can actually do 172, and then the next lap 175, and it's just you keep pushing and pushing and pushing, and the more the faster you go, the more confident you get, and then the faster you go still. So it's kind of a bit of a sort of perpetual motion of performance. Yeah, exactly, and I'm sure at a point where we're seeing a lot of drivers get those corner cutting or track extension warnings tonight. And perhaps some penalties around that part of the track. But with that complete, let's have a look then at the a hot lap of this circuit done by our very own Silverstone over in the NL League. Get that one ready for you all.
Just while you're loading that, Silverstone was actually due to attend the British Grand Prix this season for his 18th birthday.
Wow, that'd be quite the present. So as you can see on your screen now, we've got Silverstone coming up that fast. Straight, start finish straight up through the almost flat turn 1, then again left to the first heavy braking zone, turn 3. Good overtaking opportunity to sort of get up behind you for those first couple of corners. And the left-hander of turn 4, this is tricky to get the traction right coming out of this one. You can lose back in very easily then. As you come round turn 5, Aintree onto the Wellington straight, DRS wide open in the first part. A bit of relaxation between sector 1 and 2 as you get the heavy braking zone into Brooklyn to turn 6. This one sort of unwinding, trail braking the car through turn 6, then again through 7 Luffield. This one a bit easier to do compared to Brooklands. Nice exit here, not too hard to get the power down there. Then getting a bit of a cheeky line there, you can sometimes cut that one a bit through Woodford. And then the map, tricky one to get through. They're flat anyway, a bit of lifting from underneath, but it looks like still a bit of good bit here. Going through the iconic Maggots and Beckett's sector, 10, 11, 12 and 13. Slowly coming down through the gears there as you get through to the right last turn 14, which Chapel up through the gears again on the DRS, up the hangar straight. Just flat out through here, all the way up to Stowe. Then a couple of gears down, normally 2 gears through here, right handy, probably track extend a bit onto the outside there, a bit naughty but it is doable. Then down heavy braking zone again, 16, another good overtaking opportunity. Come through 17, and the car can get a bit squirmish here through 18. Looks pretty flat there though, still a bit as it crosses the line. And that's a lap of Silverstone. And very nicely done indeed. So, if I bring us over to the live track, can you walk us through who we've got with us tonight, Adrian?
Yeah, absolutely. That's not a problem.
Thanks very much.
No worries. So I'll start with Basden Brian and Damien Hartman. They're both here representing Alfa Romeo, as per usual. Boy Williamson and Sander Hermans, both in his Ferraris, they're here tonight. Silverstone, as we just saw on that hot lap, he's here with his teammate Nishay Mahabhasingh from McLaren. Nicky Visser and John Donkel, they're both here as well for Toro Rosso. Mark Stappers and Peter Phillips in the 2 Renaults, they're both here tonight. Guido Urshan and Marcel Dronig, they're both in the Red Bulls. Barry Deepervein and Niels Eekma, they're in the Haas tonight, as usual. Paul Correa and Miguel Torni, they're both here as well, in the 2 Mercedes. Ari Kopp and his teammate is not here, is he? No. That's Martin Pider Cooper, sorry. Yeah, so just Ari Kopp tonight for Williams. And then the 2 new guys whose names I cannot remember or pronounce. they're both here.
Well, I'm going to probably butcher it as well, but I'm pretty sure after Guido's good instruction on the WhatsApp group, it's Aston Eaglemeers and Koen Schippers.
Aston Eaglemeers and Koen Schippers. Okay.
Yeah, I think. There we go. Niels Eaglemeers comes back in fits. There we go. All set up. Basden Brain looking quickest by quite a nice 4/10 there with a 27.9 in P1 at the moment.
Yeah, not too shabby. Purple in the first sector only.
Probably the hardest one. Well, I think sector 2 probably the hardest one to be quickest through. A bit Brooklands and Nuffield really hard. A couple of corners there to get quick. We see Baz come through there now.
Yeah, Luffield in particular is very. You've got to be very patient with the accelerator.
Yeah.
That right-hander.
Yeah, because you can force the car out wide if you get a bit too eager. I think we've got anyone else. I think we've got Mark Stappers on a fast lap at the moment. He comes through 3 and 4. Nice and easy on the power out of 4. Oh no, he's gone slow now. It's about 10th up according to my screen.
Still in mode 5 though. Probably forgotten to take it down. Pete Phillips is on a hot lap, his teammate in the other Renault.
Have a look at him.
28.2 in the first sector, that puts him roughly P9. This pace.
Good stuff. Losing 15th downwards. So he's only got a set time really to be safe for Q2. Then Miguel Torney crashed out. I think Niche had a penalty, didn't he? And the Skippers and Eagle Mish, they're the two new guys, so they're starting at the back anyway.
Yeah, so Niche, I'm just seeing, and the two Racing Points, they've all got back starts to the Racing Points because that's their debut race. I'm just seeing for failure to upload a start clip. Miguel Torney, yes, that was a retirement on track, so he will not be participating in the rest of qualifying. And Peter Phillips almost loses it around the final corner.
Yeah, car gets a bit skittish through there, doesn't it? It does a 132.0.
Yeah,
although it's slower than Miguel, it will still be enough to see him through as his car's still running.
Yep. Interesting, he's used the soft tyre here. He's obviously saving the... used the medium tyre, saving the soft tyres for Q2 and 3 and the race.
It's a smart play anyway. He hasn't really got to push, has he? Just got to set a time.
That's the thing as well with Formula One. It's very much sort of a logical or a mind game. If you know that you're already going through in Q1 because of the number of drivers or retirements and back starters, then you know that you can actually get away with using a harder compound in the first session. Because as long as you set a time, then you are through.
Yep, exactly. Oh, Mark Schapper's retiring in the pits there. I think.
I'm showing that as on track on mine. I've got a little S for the soft tyre, which on my telemetry indicates that he was on track rather than a spanner if they're in the pit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've only got one Renault on track. That's Peter Phillip, and he's still going. The other one is in the pit lane. I might have missed it though.
Yeah, gotta say I didn't see a yellow flag.
No.
He may have retired as he drove into the pit lane, just paused and quit there rather than actually go into the garage.
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully the case. I'm pretty sure he didn't retire on track. This should still be through to Q2.
Just Barry on track at the moment. He's just coming into the pit lane. Yeah,
very long pit lane here, isn't it? It's about an hour to get through from one end to the other.
31.8 seconds to be precise.
Yeah, feels like an hour when you're in the car in a race.
That is a very long time for a pit lane.
Yeah,
certainly.
It's the longest one in F1, isn't it?
I can't confirm that. I haven't tested it, but it's certainly got to be one of the longest.
I'm trying to think of other ones. Maybe Russia's quite long.
Yes.
Well, actually, most of that exit is kind of like Brazil, isn't it? Where you kind of control the car yourself. What else? What else is there? Well, I don't have a clue. So, Bastian Brain is P1 for now then, in the Alfa Romeo with a 127.9. 3 tenths behind him, Boy Williamson in the Ferrari. Still de Witt, Nicky Visser, Mark Stappers, Zander Hermans, Guido Urshan, Paul Correa, Damien Hartmann, Barry Deepervein, John Donkel, Ari Kopp, Niels Ekman and Marcel Droning all through to Q2. Miguel Torney, Peter Phillip, Koen Skippers, Nisha Mahadur Singh and Aston Eaglemeers are all retirements for this session.
Yeah, so Mark Stappers is through, so it was an in-pit retirement.
Yep.
Q2 is where we get to see so where drivers play their opening cards with the strategies. So obviously the top 10 of this session will go through to Q3, and those top 10 have got to start the race on the tyres they use to set that lap in this session.
Indeed. And they're seeing a bit of a mixture there of medium and soft tyres at the moment for the 14 drivers we've got in the session. It looks like 6 softs and 8 mediums.
Nobody opted for the hard tyre.
No, I mean, what's your preferred strategy for this one?
Personally, I like the medium to hard strategy. I know you can do the soft to medium. It is doable, but the tyres will not be your friends if you do that.
No.
Yeah, medium to hard is fairly safe, and just as quick is the two-stop for the soft. Soft medium? No, soft medium.
Yeah. I mean, how long? What's the average lifespan of a soft tyre around here? Do you think?
Yes, about 20 laps or so. So it's
Okay.
just over a third of the race.
Mhm.
Medium tyre will do 28 laps. You can push it further than that, of course. You know, you could try and push it to 40 laps if you want, but you'll be at 80% wear. So I normally tend to pit at about the 40% wear mark, which is where I get these lap numbers from.
Yep.
And then the hard tyre will do 36 laps or so before it hits 40%.
Very useful information to know. Driver out there.
Some circuits, you can get away with pushing the tyres far beyond 40% without losing much lap time. It does really depend on the nature of the circuit.
Yeah. Quite right. There we go. I'll take off the slideshow screen there so you can actually see what we're doing. And on board here with Damien Hartman for a full lap. He goes round the Silverstone circuit. That's in real time.
Only 3 drivers crossed the line so far for Sector 1. John Donkel, Ari Cotman, Damien Hartman.
Yeah, I think Damien will be the first one to set a lap if I'm right. I believe.
Yeah.
Just come through Cops now. It's pretty flat there as he comes into...
John's first, sorry.
John
first
will be first, okay. Through Maggotts and Beckett's now. Interestingly, he went into Maggotts in 8th gear. I normally only get as high as 7th. That could be a setup. Dependent. Up through the hanger straight, uphill now to turn something at Stowe. I think that's 16. That's 15. Down through Vale. 16 here. 17, of course, we saw Vettel do a great overtake on Verstappen there last year.
Did we?
And then across the start and finish line there for Damien Hartman. There's P2 on the harder medium tyre there, John Donkel. P1 with the 128.9 on the soft.
Yeah, 6/10 faster on tyres that are 6/10 faster.
Yep.
Although Silverstone's just gone 5/10 faster than him on the medium tyre.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah, still looking he's a bit of a qualifying specialist, isn't he, really, Silverstone, as we've seen from previous races.
Yep. But he is also capable of winning races.
Indeed, yeah. Certainly is. And the McLaren boys are actually the focus of the driver focus, which we'll see during the break between qualifying and the race. Boy Williamson looks to have had a bit of a mare on his first lap at 1:37.8 there. I think he's going again now.
Yeah, that was in the first sector where that mistake was.
Right, okay. Yeah, 4.5 seconds he's just found in that first one by the looks of it.
But he'd love to find 4.5 seconds every lap.
Yeah.
He'd probably finished the race already.
Yeah. Beckett's
2/10 down on the. Sorry, Dan, he's 2/10 down on the fastest first sector time of John Donkel.
okay.
And another 10th down on him in the second sector, and he's half a second down on Still de Wit. But he is on the mediums, although so was Still.
16 and 17 then for Boy Williamson. Bit of smoke coming out the back of that Ferrari. Hopefully it's all okay. He goes P4, 129.3 on the medium tyre. Only Still de Wit has found something no one else can. Almost a second faster on the same compound there.
Yeah, Still de Wit, although he's 2/10 slower than sort of his peers in the first sector, he's 2 or 3 tenths faster in the second and third sectors.
Yeah, very good time there. Nicky Visser going P3 with a 129 dead on the medium tyre. Still a full 6/10 down on Still de Wit.
Yeah, Still seems to have this circuit nailed down.
Yeah. See how he gets on with the soft tyre in Q3, but for now looks very strong indeed.
Rather interestingly, very deep vein in P6. He's actually got the fastest final sector on those soft tyres. It's marginally quicker than Still, but still purple.
Good stuff. Although marginally quicker isn't really what he wants when he's on the soft compound.
No, no. Unless he'll be pleased to have that at this stage. Deep vein just coming around Chapel at the moment. He's hasn't set a lap yet. He's on the medium tyre.
Copy that. Just looking at Dembrain now as he comes through Stowe. He's on a hot lap at the moment.
Dembrain's second in the middle sector and in the first sector, so expect P2.
See how he looks. Yep, that'll do. 128.5 on the medium compounds. Be pleased with that.
He was actually purple in the final sector as well. 24.168 compared to Still de Wit as a 24.282.
Yeah, good one there from Baz.
Curiously, he actually ran out of ERS about 3 or 4 seconds before he crossed the line. So with a little bit more ERS management, he'll have enough to keep propelling his car up to the line.
And this is the track where you have to do it, is ERS saving.
Yes. Yeah, you're only allowed to deploy a certain amount of energy from the battery on any given lap. That's both for the qualifying and the race itself. So some circuits you can just put it in hot lap for the entire lap, and some circuits you cannot do that. And this is one that you can't.
Yes. I can't remember if we discussed what it was based on. Is it based on a distance or is it a time?
No, it's a total amount of energy that is allowed to be deployed. So you tend to find on longer circuits you're more likely to use that deployment quota up before you finish the lap. But it's not always the case. Just depends on how much of it is full throttle, and it's things like that.
Yeah. This, of course, being one of the longer circuits, 5.8 kilometres.
It's a very fast circuit as well, though, Silverstone. Even though despite its length, it's sort of it's an average size lap time. 128s we're seeing at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, speaking of fun circuit, fast circuits. I don't know. Have you seen the recent gameplay of Zandvoort in the new game?
I have indeed. We may be at our home Grand Prix here, but yeah, the new home Grand Prix next season for F1 tonight in Netherlands, yes, will indeed be the Dutch Grand Prix at Zandvoort, and yes, I have indeed seen the gameplay footage. It looks very exciting.
Yeah, it certainly looks like a fun one to drive, but I think it's going to be boring to race.
Do you think so?
I think there's going to be passing on DRS only. There's not enough heavy braking points.
Ever the optimist, then.
It's just absolutely boring. I say take it off the calendar with almost immediate effect.
All right. We'll skip that race next season.
I think it looks brilliant. That last couple of corners there, that the sort of banked round onto the start finish straight, look brilliant. From the driver's point of view, I'm sure it's great, but there's a lot of the braking zones. Like you drop a couple of gears down, it's a very fast corner. Not really anything that stops the car and gives someone else a chance to get past you. Oh, I can make out from that hot lap anyway.
Yeah,
fair
enough. Obviously, if the Grand Prix had gone ahead this year, we'd already sort of know about the sort of overtaking opportunities and things of that circuit. We might have a different opinion of it, but yeah, we'll have to wait until the release of the game to find out.
Yes, indeed. And probably next year now to actually see a race. I know the planned calendar's got Vietnam still on it at the end of the year. They actually get a season underway.
Just jumping back to the action for a moment, so Sander Hermans is about to cross the line for his improved hot laps. Actually got purple first sector, 2 tenths down in the middle sector, but he was a tenth up in the first. This could be top 3.
Yeah, really nice. 28.478 for Zander. A bit behind Silverstone. And Damien Hartman actually getting himself up there as well with 128.5 too. Marcel Droning is on his way into the pits. Obviously he's happy with his lap time of nothing. So he's back to the pits for him. Good day's work.
Oh look, that's the only time that nobody can beat.
Yeah,
time.
exactly. Anything, he's made a mockery of him. My lap time is hyphen. I just got someone being murdered in the house, don't worry about that. Thursday is purge night.
Isn't it always?
Absolutely.
Then Breen's just switched to the soft tyre compound, hasn't gone out yet, and he's going to run out of time to actually go out. Yeah.
Who's this? Droning, is it?
No, sorry, Den Breen. He's currently in the pit lane, just put the soft tyres on.
Oh, okay.
But I think he's just looking at him.
Harry Top on his way back into the pits. Going to improve. Peter Vane and Poirot still out on track though, so fight between those two for a top 10 spot. Williamson also out, he's a 10th and a half up. Sector 1.
I have to say at this moment it's looking very positive for both Silverstone and Bas Den Brain on those medium tyres, setting comparable laps with the soft runners, the fastest soft runners.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Boy Williamson's just become purple in the middle sector, and he's just a 10th down in the first sector, 10th up in the middle. Oh, and he's
on.
Oh, I thought he'd invalidated. No, he's coming in. Oh, no, he's not.
He's still out. It goes P1.
He's still out. It goes P1. I was commenting on the boys' times, but I was looking at Dupervane. Apologies.
Yeah, Dupervane coming into the pits now. Nichols Ekman also in. Schnapper's on an out lap, but it's coming back in. Britse still going. What he needs to, he can kind of back off now and perhaps save the tyre. But I imagine Williamson might still be a bit worried about the potential pace of Silverstone. What is he, just under 5 tenths in front of him on the off the compound.
Yeah. Marcel Dronig is marginal for P10 at this moment. He might just about make it at this pace.
Well, I'm surprised he managed to get round. But he is on his way.
P10's sector 1 time 28.071. He's set at 28.037.
Oh, very good. It's on the money.
He'll need to beat a 37.1 in the middle.
Very smooth there through Beckett's.
So 37.2. 10th down on P10.
Come on, Marcel, do you want it or not?
Not really driving with any sort of conviction.
Just on his way to the shops. The last couple of corners. Can he do it? No. 29.7, 13th for Marcel Dronig. There you have your top 10 for Q3, the final shootout. I think they should actually have a shootout, almost Western style. That'd be quite fun. Just one driver at a time. Winner stays on.
We could do that at the Russian Grand Prix.
Yeah.
Russian roulette.
Pretty exciting.
Niels Ekman just squeezed through there.
Yeah, just about by the skin of his teeth there. So, Boy Williamson is first again in the Ferrari with the 127.9. Then it's Silverstone, Sander Herman, Damien Hartman, Vance Den Breyen, John Donkel, Nicky Visser, Guido Urshan, Mark Stappers, and Niels Ekman all through to Q3. Brady Pavane, Paul Quarret, Marcel Dronig, and Ari Kopp both. All 4 of those guys not making it through to the last round.
It's very much usual suspects in the top 5.
Yep. Yeah, usually that's the pecking order, isn't it, at the top end? Of course, last week we saw Guido Urshan knocking about in that area. He was 4th in Q3. So, of course, that time of the evening where we get to pick our 1-2 drivers, and we say pick because they always finish exactly where we predict them. So, I am. Who do you choose, Adrian?
I'm gonna go with Vance Den Breyen. Paul.
Still a bit for me. He's the man to beat. By his Q2 performance, anyway.
Boy Williamson was very strong on that lap though. He's 5 tenths up on P2, which was still a bit in. He was on the medium tyres with Boy on the softs. But you know, pound for pound, that is actually a tenth down on the Seals time, because those tyres should be roughly 6 tenths faster.
Yeah, quite right. John Donkel, not first one out. Interesting. Normally is. Looks like Nicky Visser will be first one to get going on his hot lap tonight.
Temporarily lost Marcel Dronig altogether. Dropped out of the session.
Yeah, he's not. Oh, dropped out of the session, did he?
Yeah. Hopefully he shall return.
Don't know, do we have a weather report for the race?
Stand by. If it's anything like the weather report for the F1 Tonight UK British Grand Prix, then it's going to be complete gibberish.
Yeah, didn't it rain for the formation lap and then not?
Yeah, it said there was going to be rain halfway through the race, and it decided to turn on the water during the formation lap instead.
Not ideal. Nicky on his hot lap now. All drivers will be on the soft tyre. We say, of course, although we did see a few drivers using the medium tyre in Q3 last week. But everyone's come to their senses though today. There we go. See a man using 7th gear doing it the right way there, Nicky Visser. Corby gets all out of shape though. Comes through 11.
Weather will be all dry, a little rain mid-race, 1 drop. He says, I think that just means light rain, not literally
drop.
1 drop.
Watch out, 1 drop of rain in 10 minutes. Caution, we don't know where it could land. 1:28.6 for Nicky Visser. Probably not as best as he can do.
Silverstone is a full second faster currently.
1:27.4. Silverstone.
Marine as well.
Yeah, Dembray 27.6. So far on for our 1-2. As always.
Boy Williamson some way off in the middle sector. I don't know if he had a mistake. So I'd say some way off, it's half a second.
London Herman's there going P3, 1:28.1. Got Mark Stappers across the line now, 29.2 for him. Don Donkel going into the pits. Boy Williamson goes P4 with a 28.1.
2 1,000 slower than
the
his
Ferraris
team.
are really close. Look at that gap to the leader. Quite some way between the top 2 and everyone else. 10th in it. Have a look at the YouTube comments. See what we've got coming in. Oh, it's a bit busy. I say. Here we got. We got a few good mornings, good evenings from Terry Card and Baz Dembray. Texting and driving, Baz. Not on, mate. Aston Eaglemears is in the chat as well. It's race day. Yeah, it certainly is. Good to have you with us. Ari Cop saying good luck, everybody. Finally, good luck, guys, from him. Of course, the Instagram genius. Weather report there from Ryan. No, what's that, sorry?
Jerome Portman as well, former F1 Tonight Netherlands driver. Always watches the streams.
Can't see him. Oh, there he is at the bottom. Yeah. Got Eddie in there. Of course, the lead commentator on the Tuesdays for the UK League. Good luck all from him. Hans Vandenberg as well, of course, tuning in as always. Says good luck. Good to have him watching again.
Visser's purple in the first sector and purple by 2/10, but down by 3/10 in the middle.
So
it's good push
10th.
the front row.
That a net 10th down or net 10th up?
10th down.
Roger that. Marcel joining, rejoining, good stuff. P3 for Visser, 27.8. we drive out on track. I think Mark Stapper's actually on his way back out now.
So again, you have this strange period, don't you, where nobody's on, very few drivers are on track. It's always at about sort of 5 minutes before the end of Q3. It's like the calm before the storm.
I find at tracks like this, it's a lot less because the track's longer. You haven't got as much time to kind of, doss about in the pits. Whereas in Austria, it's such a short track to get round. You can just stay in there for 5 minutes between your first and last runs, and see drivers all now coming back out with 4.5 minutes left to go.
That's a good point, actually, because it's the qualifying period is still the same length of time, but the circuits are obviously all different lengths.
Yeah, I'm sure when we get to round, I think it's 13 at Belgium, we'll see barely any break in the driving as the drivers quickly pit and then get back out on track again.
Same as Singapore.
Yeah.
Look, Muscle Dronic was rejoining the session. That's good.
Yep. We've got a yellow flag there for Alexander Hermans there, who's just slowing down to let some cars through. At Brooklands.
John Donk very quick in the first sector. Not purple, but up there with Silverstone and Bernstein Brain, 1 and 2.
That's good stuff. We'll watch him as he comes round. I think he's going to drive actually on a hot lap at the moment. His teammate just entering the pits now, so he'll need to get a wiggle on if he wants to get another hot lap in.
Half a second down in the middle though.
Nice bit of grass there as he comes through Stowe. Still pretty tidy. .28.6 puts him in the mix there. P6.
So the car just ran out of oomph.
Yeah, might have run out of DRS. Sorry, ERS. I don't remember if in 2012 you could run out of DRS. I know you could put it on whenever you wanted, couldn't you?
Yes.
I don't know if you ran out of times you could use it or not.
No, it was just on or off.
Yeah. That was good times.
Glad you just set some good times, that's for sure.
Yeah. Or not if you left it on through a corner.
Both Ferraris on a hot lap at the moment. Both set almost identical first sectors. 27.5s.
Doesn't surprise me. Those two really neck and neck, aren't they, at the moment? Coming into the pits, who we've got? We've got Basden Brayan starting his out lap. Demi Hartman is on one at the moment, 2 tenths up.
Guido Urshan just coming into club. He's finishing his hot lap. He's half a second down in the middle, but his first sector is up there with Baz.
Demi Hartman pips in by 1 spot. Guido then goes to P8. 28.7. Here we got Alexander Herman coming around the last corner now. Finish his lap. Almost exactly the same time there, 1400ths off his best. Sildervit, I think, is going through Maggots and Beckett's. He's on a invalidated hot lap, so they need to gonna have enough time to get around and go again. Keep this on an out lap. Stapper's here on a hot lap here. He comes through 14. Up the hanger straight. See what he can do.
Purple middle sector from Baz. It's not actually his best first sector. He's about to cross the line imminently.
Yeah, Mark Stapper just going up to P7 there, the 128.6.
A little bit of a wobble.
Oh, he improves by half a tenth for Den Brayan. probably it for him. He hasn't got enough ERS to really put anything else in.
No time left either.
Got Boy Williamson coming around the last corner. He's got an invalid lap. So Zander Herman's giving up. Nicky Bliss is still on for something. I think he's a bit down in sets of 1 though.
He's down, but it's still faster than the 2 ahead of him.
Look very convincing there through Cops. Almost flat out. Much better through Magnus and 1-2. Yeah, could do a bit.
Oh, he's invalid? No, he hasn't invalidated. No, he hasn't.
9,900's up.
36.2 in the middle, sort of it as a 36.0.
Bit wobbly through Stowe. Last couple of corners. 17 now. Planted through 18. Oh, can't quite do it. Does improve by 700ths. Sildovit's your man on the front still. Very close at the top end though. Have a look at that gap to the leader. Only 2 tenths in between the top 3, or 3 tenths. Well, you've got your own little groups there. You've got the top 3, then 4 to 6, then 7 to back of the top 10.
Yeah, it should make for some interesting battles on track.
Yes. Only hope.
But congratulations, Dan. 1-2.
Yeah, once again, well done. I think that's our third, definitely third, if not fourth week on the trot. We should have a little standings with Eddie and Guido.
Yes,
I'm pretty sure we're absolutely dominating at the moment.
mate,
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what their predictions, how they go on race night.
Are you telling me you don't watch the UK streams?
I don't always watch them. I've got much time on my day these days because I wake up at 4 o'clock in the afternoon and go to bed about 5. Actually, I've still got a normal day. I just don't have it not the same as normal people, but sort of it there on pole position in the McLaren. Aston Brain joins him on the front row for Alfa Romeo in P2. Nicky Visser and Zander Herman's on the second row of the grid. They're 3rd and 4th. Boy Williamson is 5th. Damien Hartmann 6th on the 3rd row. Mark Schapper 7th. John Donkel 8th. They're on the 4th row. And Guido Urshan and Neil Ziekmer 9th and 10th on the 5th row of the grid. So, with our little break here between flying in the race, we'll have a look at the driver focuses. So this week we've got the McLaren boys, Sildovit, Nishay Mahadwasing. Sildovit up on your screen there first for the pair. He's so far completed 8 of the 9 races available to him this season. That's 81% attendance with 3 podiums, a third place in Baku, 1st place in Canada, and 2nd place in France. 3 poles, Monaco, Canada, and France, and 1 win at Canada. His last results were started first, finished first at Canada, started first, finished 2nd at France, and started 14th, finished 4th at Austria. So pretty good run of form as of late. Obviously 3 poles on the trot there, Monaco, Canada, and France as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, fantastic. A slight typo in that information. That's nothing to do with either you or me, Dan. But it's the information that has been passed on to our kind of graphics team in that respect. Grand Prix 8 out of 9, of course, is 89%, not 81%. It's 88.8.
Yes, of course. Don't try and trick us with your percentages.
We're blaming that on John Donkel.
Yeah, Nisha Madrusing then is next up on your screen there. He's had 7 Grand Prix, missed 2 so far. That's 72%. Hopefully that one's bang on. 0 podiums, 0 poles, and 0 wins. Last results are a start of 5th place and finished 9th at Canada. Started second, did not finish at France, and started third, finished 11th at Austria. So a bit of a tendency to go backwards as of late, but certainly his qualifying is resembles someone that can definitely put the car up the front end of the grid anyway. Just had a bit of bad luck in the races, I think.
Yeah, you can see a bit of a trend there, can't you? You know, he starts well and either doesn't finish well or doesn't finish at all in the case of France. But yeah, he's certainly proven that he's got the raw pace. Just needs to kind of hold it together on track. Similar typo on this as well, by the way. Should be 78%, 7 out of 9.
Unbelievable. Who does the maths for us?
Just can't get the staff, can you?
No, God, can't get the maths gurus in. That's for sure. There you have it then. There's your two drivers. We'll leave them up on the screen for you in this sort of interim between the race and qualifying. Just another little addition whilst we wait here. Some fun facts about the UK. You know that tea is by far the most popular drink among Brits. It's estimated that they drink on average 165 million cups of tea every day. The fun thing here is that in the US, the teas consume the teas consumed is 20 times lower. I think a bit of a typo there, but there you go. We love our tea over here.
Well, I've got 4 cups lined up right here, to be honest.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Ready to go.
Probably because of the popularity as old monuments, people think of the pyramids in Egypt as the oldest objects in the world. However, in the UK, there's the monument of Stonehenge, going to be one of the oldest monuments in the world, and one of the 7 world's miracles, by the way. Scientists believe that the object was built over 3000 BC. Pretty amazing stuff coming at you here from the One Tonight UK broadcast.
And they did not erect that with a cherry picker. I can tell you that.
God knows how they got it up. I mean, I typed in fun facts, but really these aren't very fun.
But they are facts.
They are indeed facts. No, all sorts of horses in the UK must have a passport. That's an interesting one for you. All horses in the UK must have a passport. I don't strictly believe that. I guess they do travel over the world, so it makes sense.
You've said it on stream now. It's got to be true.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Every year, 488 Brits are injured from zips. There's that. Killing a swan is illegal in the UK. If you kill one, you get fined of £5,000, or £5,000, or a 6-month sentence. So watch out for those swans. Queen does it.
Correct, she does.
Okay, it's a large country, but no matter where you're staying at the moment, you'll never be further than 115 kilometres from the sea. So that's a nice one. Always get to the beach.
I love how these British facts have all got metric directions.
Yeah. Yeah. During the 16th century, the king raised the tax for everyone that had a beard. And Doran will be that one. What was once considered a big sport in the UK, people of art, architecture, music, literature, painting, and sculpting were awarded a medal for their work. That's quite nice. I like that one.
Yeah. I did actually know that one. I think it appeared on The Chase one night.
Oh, very good. And just to finish here, I think we're almost ready to start. The first speeding ticket was issued in the UK. In 1896, a person was caught driving 8 miles per hour in a zone where the maximum limit was 2. So that's daredevil.
Surprised he didn't have his license taken away. 4 times the limit.
Yeah. Wow. That there.
How did they measure it?
I have no idea. Someone running alongside him going, you're driving faster than I can run, sir. Must be speeding.
Slow down. Oh, we haven't done race winner predictions, have we?
No, haven't. We do
Yeah.
that just to let you know that we will be doing fun facts for coming up. Facts next.
Oh, brilliant.
Um,
Cannot wait.
yeah, neither can I actually. Can't wait for Japan as well because I did it for the Synergy Grand Prix on Tuesday, and my God, Japan's got some fun facts, such as the Penis Festival. So I mean, that's going to be a good one. Can't wait for Japan to come rolling round in about 7 rounds time. But yeah, my prediction for the winner is the Ben Bryan.
Okay.
You wanted to pick him, didn't you?
I was going to say Dan Brain. I'm going to say Boy Williamson for this.
Yeah.
No, I'm a bit nervous that rain. He doesn't tend to do so well when there are changeable conditions, but we shall see.
Yeah, we'll see how that rain affects us. Again, just one drop, so we can pay attention before that one lands on the track.
It was an absolute nightmare in the UK race. Jack and I were driving for Renault. We were in a party of our own, and neither one of us really knew what on earth we should be doing with the strategy, with the rain coming out on the formation lap. Then there was a safety car on lap 1, and we said, should we come in? Well, it's not wet enough, so we stayed out. And then there was another safety car, I think it was lap 6, and we were like, should we come in? And it's still not wet enough, but it is raining. What do we do?
Yeah, it's a tough call to make, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I think we should be getting going pretty soon, shouldn't we?
As far as I
Either
know.
that, or I can certainly whip out some more fun facts. But it feels like there we go. Just in the nick of time.
We got some more chatter on the stream as well, just when we load up the formation. Eddie Eduardo Ferreira. That's
Ferrero Rocher.
that is Eddie, who obviously commentates on the UK stream. He's going for Basden Brain for the win as well, along with yourself.
Indeed. So bringing up the fact that Silverstone was once an airfield. Yeah, quite right. So let's have a look at our runners and riders then as they come around the track this evening. Sealed of it. Actually, let's get rid of the driver focus. There we go. Now you can see what's going on. So sealed of it there on pole position leads the drivers round. It's Dan Bryan in P2. Nicky Visser is third for Toro Rosso. Then it's the 2 Ferraris. First up, Zander Hermans is in 4th. And Boy Williamson there in 5th. These two very close in qualifying. Should be a good race for them. Amy Hartman in the Alfa Romeo is 6th. And 7th, Mark Stappers. There we go, in the Renault. Don Donkel is 8th in the Toro Rosso. And Guido Urshan in the Red Bull. He's P9. Behind him, Nils Ekma in the Haas. Brady Vane also in the Haas, just behind him as well, in 11th place. Then Paul Quarret is 12th in the Mercedes. Marcel Droning in the Red Bull is 13th. Ari Kopp in the Williams is 14th. Miguel Tawney is 15th in the Mercedes. And Peter Philip for Renault is 16. We have Kuhn Skippers in the... I haven't got his name tag up here, I do apologise. I'll get that in for you shortly, but he is in the Racing Point. Mishem Hadwersing is in the McLaren. And Dustin Eaglemears is bringing up the rear in 19th place, also in the Racing Point.
So The McLaren on pole position then for British Grand Prix.
Indeed. All the drivers line up on the grids. Here come the lights. And they're all lit up. 5 lights. And we're underway for the British Grand Prix. Silverstone gets away well. It looks like there's a Ferrari peeling out there behind the Toro Rosso. It looks like Boy Williams has got a great start there. Basden Brayan also leading. Looks like Silverstone goes wide. The Basden Brayan pips into the lead there. The 2 Ferraris get through well. As does Nicky Visser. He's down 1 place. But the 2 Ferraris, they've got a rocket launch. Boy Williamson's under Herman's both up to 2 and 3.
Damien Hartman's taken damage as well. He's down to 17th.
Blimey, it looks like turn 1's caught a few people out there. There's a lot going on down the back. And the new boy's getting stuck in there. Aston Eagle Mears getting involved. Paul Quare's retired already.
Safety car.
Safety car's out. I don't know where we've lost Paul there. Off to the left of the screen there. Off to the right of the Wellington Straight, it looks like. They were Basden Brayan and Silverstone pretty much side by side into one, weren't they? But still just got a bit. Looked like he got maybe force wide. I'm not quite sure. It's hard to see from the camera angle, but certainly ran wide at the exit of 1, and then dropped down to 10th.
Yeah, it's not ideal for the youngster, but it's a long way to go to the end of this race, and it's absolutely not over. Doesn't look like the car's damaged, which is important.
Yeah, quite right. Also, he's on the medium tyre as well, so he's in for the long run here. The safety car will help that stint. It could be, depending on his pace, could be a P5 at the moment once those guys in front of him pit. Just looking for oh, sorry, go on.
I was just going to say, we've just got Marcel Dronig in the pit, Damien Hartman, of course, and that's it, just the 2, and 3, Miguel Torni as well. 3 casualties from that. It did look a bit more like carnage.
Yeah, there's a lot of dots all together there at the round 3 and 4, and round 10-5 as well. During that start phase.
Both the new drivers, the Racing Point drivers, was it Eagle Beer? Eagle Beer?
Eagle Beers. That's Eagle Mears.
Eagle Mears, apologies, yeah. And Shippers.
Yeah, that's correct.
Good Shippers. Both of them are the only 2 on the hard tyre.
Yeah, and that's a good start from them because they can sort of rest now during the safety car phase and kind of get going again, try and get some more places up. So they're looking quite good at the moment for Racing Point, just outside the points. We have now got Aston's name up on the screen there, so Aston Eagle Mears now on the screen for everyone. And
that's quite unusual. I saw that creeping onto the onto the screen rather than
sliding across. So I'm putting them on there live, and we'll get Coon Skippers up there as well. Second.
Another British racing number there for Eagle Mears, number 22, famously used by Jenson Button.
See if we got it correct in the WhatsApp chat earlier. Is yep, Cohen Skippers on number 2 as well, so good stuff. Also a very excellent number choice there.
I do like it. It's symbolic of how I drive in a race as well. Bit like a number 2.
Yeah, perfect. So yeah, just the Skippers there secreting onto the street as well. This is for compatriots. There we go. Names. On.
Groening's in the pit again for a new wing. They just came in for a new wing. He's now had a second stop in 2 laps.
Interesting. Made a mistake under the safety car, I don't know.
Could be. Oh no, I was going to say it could be just a choice, a change of strategy. But yeah, it was definitely a wing replacement.
Yeah. Yeah, I was watching that one. It was definitely a wing replacement, as you say. Let's have a look at the sort of the winners and losers at the start of this race. Obviously, the top 3 getting great starts there. They're all up 3 places for Boy Williamson. He got from P5 to P2, more or less at the start. He had a great launch there behind Nicky Visser. He's down 1 place. And Guido Urshan's up 4. John Donkel up 2. Mark Stapper's held his own there, P7. He's not going anywhere. Brady Pavane up 3 places. Nils Ekman up 1. Nisha Madrusing touching on his race form, going backwards. He's gone well forwards this time, up 8 places from 18. And then Coon Skipper's up 6 places, and his teammate Aston Eaglemere's also up 7. Ari Kopp up 1 place, Peter Phillip up 2. Hildebert obviously losing out big time at the beginning there. I think he's actually stopped, hasn't he? Stopped now? It was P10 last time I checked. Jamie Hartman as well, down 10. Miguel Tawney, Marcel Droning down 2 and 5 places each. No, he's not stopped. I don't know, how did he lose out so much? He was P10 definitely when I last had a look. A safety car in this lap. So Baz Denbrain paces the grid here as we come round Stowe. Let's see when he decides to launch away. We'll go on board with Boy Williamson to see how he gets away from the pack. We're going to get a good exit here. Yeah, see him start to pull away now. Doesn't catch Boy Williamson out too much though. He's stuck with him. Good get away from those 2.
Good restart from Seal as well. He's about to pass.
Oh,
Pete
Baz
Phillips.
I thought I saw Baz Denbrain go. Baz is retired.
Oh, blimey.
I thought I saw an Alfa Romeo going sideways, but I couldn't tell if it was just where he was going across the screen and turning left at the top of turn 2. But no, he's out.
Wow, that is yeah, that's really disastrous then for Alfa Romeo with Damie with that incident on the pretty much on the starting grid, and then yeah, and now Baz as well. Wow, that's,
Yeah, did not expect that. So Dan Brayan out at lap 4 here. The British Grand Prix. Boy Williamson leads the way from P5 on the grid. There's quite a lot going on down here. Who have we lost? Oh, we've had a Guido Urshan's gone round.
Damie Hartman's out as well.
Damie Hartman's gone. What's going on? Damie Hartman's gone there. There's a Racing Point rejoining the track there at Maggots. That's Coon Skippers there, getting back on track. Damie Hartman's got actually on track by the looks of it.
It's a strange place to yeah, to lose the car.
Yeah, I mean, by where that dot is on track, I would guess he's gone wide coming out of Cops, and then the back end's got on some dirty stuff and spun him round. Something like that anyway, that'd be my guess.
Yeah, it's the first time we've seen both Alfa Romeos retire this season, and it's happened within the first 5 laps, first 4 laps of this Grand Prix.
Yeah, crazy stuff. I wouldn't have put those 2 guys down to retire so early.
No, absolutely not. Just when we thought we were getting our predictions bang on, the unpredictable inevitably happened.
You're still on for yours at the moment. You said
for
Boy
now.
Williamson, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah. Hey, it's all about qualifying. Don't worry about the race, Adrian. Qualifying was still great.
That's it. 2 Ferraris, so 1-2, and then followed by the 2 Toro Rossos.
Yeah, it's nice to see Zander Herman's back on a good form here. We haven't seen him up sort of the top end of the grid for a couple of races.
No. And then in P5 as well, you've got Mark Stappers on a season best 5th place at the moment.
Yep. Yeah, good stuff. Nisha now up to P6 as well, so 12 places up from where he started earlier on this race. Still a bit though, making a comeback up to P9 now. He was 15 a minute ago. Purple in sector 1 as well by the looks of it.
Megat Tawny's just gone off. Yeah, that's Megat Tawny and Megat's.
Guido Woschen, is that unlapping himself, is he? Or has he just passed him? No, he's just passed him.
Yep.
Oh, well, he's topsy-turvy race so far. Yeah, Nisha got purple there.
So far, no driver has had more than one purple sector.
Roger that. We're now on the back of Stappers down the Wellington Straight. DRS wide open. I don't know why I say wide open. I mean, you can never have it half open. It's always, it's always open. DRS only slightly open there, not using it all.
Yeah, we always refer to that, don't we?
Yeah.
We talk about DRS.
DRS akimbo.
Oh, Mark Stapper's a tad wide just on the entry to Copse Corner. A bit of dirt on the outside tyres that did compromise him slightly.
Who was that? Sorry.
Mark Stapper's in P5, just watching from Marja Singh's car.
I think as well. Aston Eagle is now up to P7 on the hard compound there.
Fantastic stuff.
Looking really strong here from the get-go. And Silverstone now alongside very deeper vein. Takes P8 into Stowe. Good move there. McLaren driver. Looks like Peter Phillips got past Ari Kopp as well into Stowe. Also in P10 now.
Both Ferraris absolutely flooring it at the moment. They are Boy Williamson just at a 33.0, his teammate a 33.5. The next fastest driver is a 34.3 from Nicky Britse.
Wow, that's quite some difference. Of course, good work for Nicky though. He's side by side through turn 5 there for Nisha Madhusing and Mark Stappers there. We've lost Miguel Tawny.
Yeah, that's on the exit of 1.
A lot of drivers there struggling with that turn 1, turn 2 complex there. We saw Bastian Brain lose it around that corner.
Yep.
At 3.
Safety car again.
Yep. All course yellows.
So this is actually going to hurt the Ferraris the most then. This is just completely negated their somewhat small lead, but it's still a lead that they had, and a lead that they've used energy in to actually get.
Yeah.
So that has now been taken away from them. So the advantage now lies with the medium runners behind them.
Green Skipper's there getting a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings. Probably for corner cutting.
Safety car just currently stationary on the start of the Wellington Straight, ready to collect the leaders.
Yeah. You would have to think, I mean, I know it's early doors yet, but this is probably something that Aston Eagle Mears won't really want. There's a lot of safety cars to negate that what he's doing on the hard tyre, if people can pit before him and get back out in front.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not necessarily a bad thing for him on the hard tyres. It will hurt the soft runners ahead of him the most. It will hurt them more than it hurts him. But yeah, it does give drivers an opportunity to adjust their strategy. So what you can, from this point, effectively do is, if you have started on the softs or indeed the hards, you can pit for mediums, which will do half the race, which will take you to sort of laps at 36 or so, and then pit for mediums again, sort of quite comfortably.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, if drivers are sort of struggling with the tyre wear, as I've just seen the rain load up.
Here it comes.
I really hate that about F1 games. That just bloop, there's the rain.
There's no kind of yeah, you don't even get like a taste for it. It's just bam, there you go.
Yeah.
There's the rain.
Although it can be very gradual, a build-up, or it can be a sudden downpour.
Yeah,
but
it's not that great, right? But the actual initial, it's raining is quite in your face.
So again, this adds another layer to the strategy calls then, with Eaglemere's on the hard tyre. This is the same situation that Jack and I found ourselves in. We were running on the hards and weren't entirely sure what the best plan of action really was at this stage. This is roughly when our second safety car was as well. So similar, very similar situation. Be curious to see what people do. And but boys come in. Boy
is in, yeah.
This could be, crucial to the result of the race.
The behind Nicky Visser also opting to make that call.
Now, Nicky Visser came in, if you remember, in Canada. He came in when the rain had just started. He was the very first one to pit onto the intermediates, and it actually won him the race.
Yeah.
Against Boy Williamson.
Yes, this could be an inspired decision here from Boy Williamson. He drops them right down to the back of the grid, but they are the only drivers to have made that call so far. Of course, the other thing you've got to think about is if it is just one drop of rain. Well, that's the symbol for it anyway. It's a light, very, very light rain. We don't know how long it will last. It could still be doable just to stay out on the dry tyre.
Now, both those drivers have gone on to the intermediate, so that, obviously Boyd doesn't want to be caught out again like he was in Canada with his late call onto the intermediates. But personally, I think this is a touch too early for both drivers. Although, granted, you're much better off being on the intermediates on a dry track than you are slick tyres on a damp track.
Yeah. Obviously in this case it's dry tyres on dry track still, so
yeah,
they still got that slight advantage. I think at first that was probably a good shout to make, but I think just judging by we've had sort of maybe a lap and a half, almost 2 laps of this light rain now, and the track still looks pretty dry. I don't think it's going to become wet anytime soon.
Yeah, I expect them to probably lose 3 or 4 seconds a lap once the safety cars in this lap. They did not want that. They wanted the safety car really to stay out another lap. Yeah. To just give the rain time to settle on the track. So, yeah, it's not what they wanted to see there. But yeah, I expect them to lose some time. Yeah,
this could still be Silverstone's Grand Prix here, perhaps. Obviously on the harder compound, he's only got Mark Stappers and Aston Eaglemere's in front of him on the harder compound. Thunder Herman's there, waiting no time to get underway with this restart. Really pulling away well for Mark Stappers there as other drivers now start to pit. John Donkle, Nisha Mahendra Singh come in. We'd expect for intermediates based on the conditions. Look at John Donkle, see what he pops on.
Yeah, it's got to be into, isn't it?
Yeah, looks like it is.
So Sander Herman's already 4 seconds ahead of P2.
Yeah, I mean,
turn 2.
He got fired out of a cannon at the restart of that race. He's done an absolute blinder of restart there on the rest of the grid. Albeit, I know he's on the softer compound, but it doesn't give you that much of an advantage. Must have a whole new engine in that Ferrari to be pulling out that kind of a gap.
There's also nearly a 4 second gap between the last of the dry runners and the group of 4 intermediate runners at the moment, led by Boy Williamson.
Yeah, I mean, No, you're just looking at that track now. There is no reflection off of it at all. It's still dry as a bone. Still very, very much tumbleweed weather.
Oh, boy, drifting around cops as well. About 30 miles an hour slower than the dry runners would have been as well.
Yeah, that's not going to do him any good.
Ari Cop's just passed Shippers. Shippers now fighting back into Stowe.
Not very good. Yep.
Meanwhile, Shippers' teammate Egelmeers, yeah, he's now up to P2.
He's P2.
As yeah, he's actually. Oh, it was Strappers who come in the pit. He was P3.
Yes, it's looking. I mean, if this dries up at any point now, he's got obviously still a bit all over his gearbox, but it starts to dry up. I think Egelmeers is looking very good for a good finish here. You'd have to.
Yep.
Concur, wouldn't you?
Yep.
Or conclude. A little bit though, getting a nice run there through turn 4.
Fully RS as well, still.
Yeah, nice, really nice exit there. He just off in the distance he goes now. And, 8.5 seconds up the road, Sander Hermans.
Yeah, that is absolutely phenomenal, phenomenal pace. And again, yes, Hermans has actually got nearly 40 RS as well. So you know, it's amazing stuff.
Yeah, I mean you've got to think these Inter runners are going to be kicking themselves a bit now, I think.
Yeah. So this is what I didn't want to do in our race. As tempted as it was to come in under the safety car with the rain coming down, yeah, it was. It would have been absolutely the wrong call, and it looks like the wrong call here. But you know, everything can change.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a long race. Still 41 laps to go, and still a bit. And look to be closing down Zander a bit there through Magnus and Beckett's. Still is a bit. Zander actually stopped. Zander's coming into the pits now.
Is this too early?
Well, fingers crossed. I know I say this almost every race where there's a bit of weather involved, but I hope he's spoken to Jeff. Because Jeff knows best in this. He's gone to the mediums on. Yeah, he's been talking to Jeff. He must have been. Because in every circumstance where it's going to be dry the whole race, then we know best. I will not argue anything different. But when there's going to be weather involved that we can't see and the computer knows when it's coming, you can only ask Jeff. Yep. Say, hey, when's the weather coming? And he'll say, no, it's still dry tyres for now. And then he'll tell you when it's going to be inters. You can't go wrong.
Well, unless he tells you, oh, we don't have the data for that.
Well, then you just say, well, that's all right, Jeff. You take your time. I know you're a bit stressed. It's all right. You just get yourself together. I believe in you.
You got messages like, oh, you know, safety car in this lap, and you're still trying to talk to Jeff. Oh, we don't have the data. I'm afraid. What do I do? Yellow flag's in 1. That is. Oh, is that a McLaren?
Hass, is it? Netting
no, yeah. Is it deep for me?
It's there. Oh, I can't help but feel like Niche's. He was on for a great. He was up in the top 5. It's easy to be a sheep though in these kind of circumstances, where you get people at the front pit for the inters, and you think, right, it must be time for the wet tyre. In you go. I can't stress it enough. Talk to Jeff.
Yeah, absolutely. Egelmeer's in the pit now, so he's coming off the hard tyres. He obviously, this has got to be a change for Inters. You would not change from.
Yeah, I was going to say it's a bit early, isn't it?
To anything else.
Come on, Egelmeers. First race, first win? Question mark. If he goes on the Inters, then I've got to say no.
The pit crew weren't. They didn't look like they were ready, unless that was a very late load up, and we were just delayed slightly.
The pit crew ran out afterwards. They'd come take them off, take them back off again.
Oh, I love this game.
I love rubbish.
So to put the times into perspective, then the gap between the mediums and the inters, Boy Williamson is the fastest of the inter runners at the moment. He's been setting 46.9s. Still DeVitt up the front. He's done a 40 0.9, 6 seconds faster.
Yeah, it's not even close yet, is it?
No.
Still a bit now, pulling away with quite a nice 10.5 second lead now. But how the tables have turned at Racing Point though. Queen Skippers now is up into P2.
Oh, Mahadrasing's lost it.
Oh,
He's lost it at what's the name of that corner?
I forget.
Yeah.
Is it Abbey? Aintree.
Aintree. That's
Is
it.
that the one?
Yep.
That's the ticket.
It's fascinating that Ferrari have sort of covered both eventualities. They've pitted one driver, pitted onto the intermediates early on, just in case the rain does come down heavy, and then the other drivers done the complete opposite and completely ignored the rain and pitted from soft tyres onto the mediums. Is the only driver to have done.
Sort of it in now. Onto the
Shippers
inters. So yeah, you've got to at least hope now, having had the rain, coming down for the period it's been doing so. You've got to think that now it is time. Change. You've got to hope these guys are making the right call now.
Well, I'll keep an eye on Niels Ekma's lap time. He's leading the race for the first time since joining F1 tonight.
Yep. Everyone except for him now on a wet tyre as the rest of the grid comes into pit. Worth noting that Shipper's there. He's got a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane.
Easily done at this circuit, unfortunately.
Yeah, especially when it's wet. He comes up behind Visser there. Probably behind his teammate, Eagle Miz. Eagle Miz actually taking on Visser now.
Ekman's last lap was a 47.2. So yeah, I think it's certainly crossover time.
Well, Visser there letting Eagle Miz through into Brooklands.
Peter Phillips has gone off at turn 2, it looks like.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Sam Adelson there taking that place off of him.
Oh, Sildavit's off!
Oh no!
Sildavit's facing the wrong way at Cops.
Fun. Oh no. Certainly, you must have to think it certainly gets squared out there now. For a spin there.
Niels Ekman opting to stay out on the medium tyres. Just driven past the pit entrance.
Doesn't look happy on those tyres anymore, does he?
Oh, and he almost lost it at whatever that corner's called.
That will be Club.
Peter Phillips doing donuts just after Cobb's corner.
Fair enough. He's won the race.
Yeah, really treacherous conditions out there.
It's weird because that track still looks dry, doesn't it? There's no kind of wet line appearing here. It just looks like there's a dry layer to it. But I mean, yeah, Ekman really losing time now. 2 seconds to Williamson behind him.
But Dan, look, Boy Williamson, who who pitted very early for intermediate tyres, was far behind the dry runners. Was losing 6 seconds a lap. Is now in P2, just now up to P1, past Niels Ekman.
Yeah, yeah, it's what we same thing we saw with Visser, wasn't it, at Canada? Yeah, a real little big turnaround there. You wonder, I mean, you would have thought one of the guys that left it later, Sildavit or someone like that, would still be in front of Williamson. Having left it till the end, was still going faster until that point. So I don't quite know how it's worked out for him, but it has.
Yeah, I will have to watch this one back, I think, after this race, just to try and understand how that has happened.
Was Sildavit in front of him before he spun?
Yes.
Okay, so I guess it worked out for Sil.
Yeah, Ekman's just gone up to P2, sorry, he's just passed, sorry, not Ekman, Eagle Mears.
Yeah.
Past Ekman. Ekman is just so tentative.
Yeah.
Coming into the pit now, finally.
Yeah, that's a shame. That's going to lose him a lot of places now when he comes in to stop. All the drivers there I mean, he'll be out behind Guido Ocean. Perhaps even very deep vein. Once he rejoins. Great first showing though for the two new boys on the block. 2 racing points, 2nd and 4th. Having started, last and just before last, respectively. They're certainly having a good race so far, those two. So Ikema will come out behind his teammate, possibly Nisha Mahadra as well.
Yeah, sorry about that, Dan. My controller just died.
Oh, good to have you back.
Oh, thank
yeah,
you.
he's just going to come out ahead of Mahadra Singh. Yeah. So he joins P13 for Nils Ikema.
But yeah, just going back to what you were saying a moment ago, it's absolutely fantastic start for the new Racing Point team, P2 and 4. I think that's the best start to any new drivers so far. Certainly a pair of new drivers.
Yeah, I mean it's early doors now in the race, of course, but right now this is going to put them up to P6 in the constructors' standings from P10. So this will lift them right up from absolutely nothing the way to top of the kind of bottom half of the constructors. I'm surprised that Zander Hermans has kind of come off so badly from this, because he was of course leading the race.
Well, he's actually had two stops.
Or during the interstage.
Yeah, because he came in off the soft tyre onto the medium and tried to. It looked like he was just ignoring the rain completely, and then when it did come, he had to pit again. So yeah, it's 30 seconds lost per stop. So yeah, it's a minute behind where he otherwise would have been.
Yep, that makes sense.
Or not a minute, but yeah, 30 seconds.
Vista there getting past Eagle Miz. Through Aintree, turn 5. See Zander Hermans putting some pressure on Mark Stappers now around Luffield. So Stappers getting a bit of a better run out of these corners though, having watched this battle for a couple of corners. And Herman's getting a nice run there through Cops. See if he can do anything up the Hanger Straight. Sort of it, also closing up on the leaders, getting up on the back of Shippers now.
.44.2 just set by Boy Williamson in P1. 44.5 from Nicky Vista, so yeah, losing 3/10 on that lap.
Zander Hermans there just getting past Stappers into turn 16, the chicane. Puts him up to P8 now.
I think what we've learned here from these opening 17.5 laps is that an early stop onto intermediates is absolutely the right call.
Yeah. I think it comes with the slight terms and conditions underneath that says some people in front of you need to spin out also. But yeah, 100% of the time so far that we've seen in this league, yes. Bang on. I think today, had Silverstone not lost the car earlier on, Zander Hermans maybe not had to pit twice, I think it would be a different leader at the moment. But yeah, certainly not can't go wrong, I think we could definitely say.
Just remarkable, they were 6 seconds slower a lap for at least 4 laps.
And now he's leading the race.
Yeah. I'm struggling to get my head around it.
I think that is just through like you said, with Zander Hermans, he had the extra pit stop, and then still a bit, of course, spun out. Those two were at the pointy end of the grid during that sort of changeable period. I'm sure they would, if they hadn't have made that mistake and pitted again, I'm sure they'd still be up challenging Williamson for the lead, if not leading the Grand Prix themselves.
But then for them to both be ahead of Eaglemeers as well, who was on the hard tyre. He came in at what looked like the correct time, really, for the intermediates. He hasn't had a mistake, and both of them have passed him.
Yeah. Who knows?
And he hasn't been slow either.
No.
44.9 on that lap, but yeah, he was setting very respectable laps on the hard tyre in the dry conditions, even when the rain was just starting to build.
Yeah, definitely want to watch back and just understand how they've made that work. But the main thing is they've done it, and they're.
Yep.
He's leading the way now, 6 seconds to Nicky Visser behind him. Sealed a bit, putting the pressure on the shippers there in P4. Oh, sorry about that. I keep hitting the home button by accident on my controller. Oh, a bit of grass there for DeVitt.
That's poor exit from Seal. Could have had him.
And what's the estimated lifespan of the Inters, do you think?
Roughly half the race.
Yep.
But some of these drivers have done a few laps on a sort of dry track, which does tend to wear them out considerably faster.
Yeah. And of course the leaders won for that, aren't they, really?
Yeah, we're still nearly losing it out of turn 2, sorry.
Keep it together. Well, Williamson, they're getting a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings. We'll be probably at turn 5 at Aintree. Quite easily done there. Exit the... It's still sliding.
Yeah, just on the exit of 5.
A correction there for him as well as he comes through Brooklyn.
Peter Phillips has spun on the exit. It's on Chapel, just as you lead onto the Hangar Straight.
Still celebrating. Is now getting up to little group here. Marcel joining Arikop. Marcel getting nice and wide there through turn 12.
Good exit from Sander.
Yeah.
But an equally good exit from Marcel Dronig.
Yeah, indeed. Not through there though for Zander. We'll see if we can make a little dive, perhaps. Fast chicane.
Dronig will run out of energy soon.
Yeah, Zander though got a full tank, effectively.
Yep.
ERS.
See that little white bar just refill or reset itself as he crosses the line to start his lap. That's the deployment bar. That's the measure of how much energy you're allowed to use in a lap.
H for harvesting.
Mm-hmm.
In his combine harvester.
Oh, there we go. That's a fun fact for you about Silverstone. It used to be a farm up until 1963, so 13 years after the first Formula 1 Grand Prix.
It was still a farm.
It was still a farm, and they eventually sold it to whoever owned...
Liberty Media?
No, yeah, Liberty Media. To whoever owned Formula 1 back then. I can't remember who it was.
Still the FIA. Were they not formed then?
No. That was 70s, I think, FIA.
Alright, okay. Diekman and
I think
Brady
it's
Vane
like
all over
the
the back of each other.
AAAF or something like that.
Alright.
Sorry to interrupt you.
No, that's alright. I'm intrigued
Son.
on the AAAAF is now. Oh!
Sandra's made the move into Stowe there, turn 13.
Yeah, nicely done. Got to wonder though when this rain might stop. And it still is light rain. I don't think it was lasting. Forecast it was supposed to just come and go.
Yeah. But those forecasts are really
Yeah.
not worth very much, it seems.
No. Not worth much more than the game they're coded into.
When it's on sale.
Yeah. Had the scene. Closing up on the back now of the Ass Boys.
Just while you're staying with this battle, Nicholas just gained half a second on Boy Williamson that previous lap. Both drivers look to be pushing their cars equal amounts according to their ERS. Going to use an Eddie Ferreira expression here. Zone. No, not that one.
Oh.
He's zoning in on the back of Ari Kopp, Sander Herman. This is the battle for P7.
Yeah. Gibson as well looking to lap. Yeah. It looks like Nietzsche's going to make a move on deeper paint as well down the hanger straight for P13. Might have to wait though a bit.
Deeper Vein somewhat acting as Neil Ziekma's rear gunner at this point.
Yeah. Holding up Nietzsche.
So Neil Ziekma, who was at one point just 10 laps ago leading this race, is now 43 seconds behind the leader.
Yeah. I think that's a combination of he was on the dry tyre, therefore faster than them, but then he had to stop, and now he's on the same tyre, he's just not as quick. So he's therefore
also,
fallen off the pace.
Yeah. And also he did a couple of extra laps as well, didn't he, when it really was raining.
Yeah.
And and he lost chunks of time.
Yeah, we'll see Sander Hermans hopefully make the move on Ari Kopp here, down the hanger straight. So Ari got a nice run out of whatever colour that is, Chapel.
Yeah. Good use of ERS to defend Vimari.
Yeah.
So Sander was actually in mode 5 with the slipstream. Obviously no DRS in these conditions. Ari was in mode mode 4 overtake, and yeah, it was enough to stay ahead.
Yeah, did a really good job. Looks like Mahadra Singh made the move through Stowe. There you go. On Barry Deeper Vein. Zander getting a bit slippery there through Brooklands. Chases down Ari Kopp. Field of it, getting on the back of Skippers as well in P4. What do you prefer? Do you prefer chasing or defending?
Definitely chasing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tend to get a bit panicky sometimes when I when I defend. Although I've been told in a few races I defend very well, but it's much more nerve-wracking for me to be ahead of a car, particularly when you know that they're faster than you are.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't mind either, but I definitely prefer chasing someone down. I feel like I'm just faster. Almost eggs me on to be quicker when I'm chasing someone.
Yeah, exactly.
Xander was there making the move on Ari Cop through Stowe.
Boy Williamson in the pit, so he's the first of the intermediate runners. Well, they're all intermediate runners. First of the drivers to stop from intermediate tyres.
Yeah,
onto
to
a new
stop
set.
and put some more on. Peter Phillip there. It looks like running wide to let some drivers through.
I just wind the stream back a little bit. The gap between Boy Williamson and Nicky Visser before the stops was roughly 4 seconds.
Yeah, Nicky's certainly looking a bit quicker. I don't know if the lap times sort of confirm that.
Yes, absolutely, big time.
Yeah.
43.6 from Nicky on that lap. I can't tell you boys lap because he came in, but it's a 45.4, so I'm 2 seconds slower from Egomes.
Yeah. Okay. Definitely a big difference. Still chasing round. Skipper's here. Can't get on the back of him really enough down the Hanger Straight.
Mm. So Nicky stayed out for another lap. Yeah, I'd have to say I think it might have been slightly too early from Boy, given that we're not quite at the halfway point of the race just yet.
We're exactly there now. Aren't we? Lap 26.
Well, when they cross the start line to complete this lap, we will be.
Oh, okay. I'll save on my my big shouty part until the end of that lap then.
If you could, please. Yeah, but you know, Boy pitted at effectively the end of 24.
Yeah.
So still 28 to go at that point.
Current gap is 34.5 seconds. I think he's still within a pit stop, wouldn't you? 30 seconds here?
Yes. 32, 31.8, 32.
Yeah.
33 if you...
Getting so slidey out of some of these corners. Just he gets close to the car in front and then has a little bit of a moment. And oh, nice run through Cops there though. That's really closing him up onto the back of Skippers here. With Maggots and Beckett's. Really reeling him in. This could be the move if he gets a good run out of Chapel. Looks like it.
Shippers defending with the ERS.
Ooh, not quite yet.
And that's the thing, isn't it? When with new drivers, I know obviously they're an unknown quantity to the league, but then the league itself is also an unknown quantity to them. So in one respect, they don't know that the drivers that they're racing are faster or slower than they are, so that they kind of don't have that same pressure as they might have if they've done a whole season with these guys. And, you know, they'd thought, okay, he's actually quite a lot faster than me, so I'm going to behave slightly differently.
Oh,
we've got someone off there.
Gone round at turn 3. That'll be Village.
His first mistake.
Luckily he didn't lose out too much there. He still maintains P4. Or he maintains a high up position. He was obviously P2 before that. Still fairly close to the battle of Tilda Bit and Coon Shippers there.
Yeah, but just going back to what I was saying a moment ago, you know, if I'm racing against Dylan Platt, for example, and I've got him behind me, I will be very sort of nervous, and I wouldn't want him to be behind me for too long, and then no doubt he wouldn't be. But if I didn't know who Dylan Platt was necessarily, I may not feel that way.
Maybe you've just got to forget who they all are, Adrian.
Perhaps that might be the secret.
Can't be scared in Formula One.
It's a big problem of mine, unfortunately. Oh, ship is very slidey on the final turn there.
Nicky Visser absolutely is an element though, isn't he, at the moment? 12.5 seconds there, ahead of the racing point.
So Boyd Williamson, who's P6, he's just come across the line to set a 44.2. That is 4 tenths faster than Nicky Visser. Those two drivers are the two fastest on the track at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, and so, oh, that skipper's gone round. He's out.
Oh no!
Turn 5, lost that back end.
Could see a safety car.
Yeah,
VSC.
Boyd's. Oh, what a shame, just that back end went. Catch it then.
They were doing so well, both of them, and we've just seen a mistake from both drivers in the space of a lap.
Yeah, definitely tough conditions to have your first Grand Prix here, 100% as well.
Yeah.
Don't know their backgrounds, not sure if they've experienced this kind of racing before or not, but certainly put on a good show for us on their first Grand Prix.
Still, yeah, nonetheless, a very respectable drive from shippers, and indeed from Megomez. You know, to even be in those positions at this point, it's very positive.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know if Silverstone will be happy that that car's out of his way now. In a sense, but we'll see how his pace proves perhaps now that he's got some clean air.
Yeah, I just watched the moment back on the stream. Yeah, it was it's one of those sort of slow motion moments, isn't it?
Yeah.
He starts to go and it's like, oh no.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, shame to get so far.
Yeah, I told you before, the same thing happened at France in the UK League. My teammate Jack lost it on the fast right-hander at turn 10 in very similar conditions, and he started to slide and was like, no, I've lost it. I said, no, you haven't. He said, no, I'm gone. And it just took absolutely forever for him to hit the wall.
Mahadwasing's gone round as well at Village. Turn 3.
That's a few times now he's done that there.
Lane on the again.
Unleash the deeper vein.
He has been doing that for about 20 laps.
Zoning in.
Yeah, he's getting there. He's still trying to get there.
Well, truly.
Yeah.
The moistest.
Yeah, this rain really not letting up. Certainly looks like it's not light rain.
Yeah, again we had these sorts of conditions in in qualifying in the UK race, where it was clearly heavy rain. It was coming down, perhaps even harder than this. Jeff defaulted everyone to the wet tyres, but in actual fact the intermediates were faster. And
Right.
yeah, I put the wet tyres on in I forget what qualifying session it was. I think it was Q2. And yeah, pretty much immediately lost control of the car on the exit the pit lane. And indeed, the drivers that were on intermediates were some 2 seconds faster.
Right, okay.
And also, those drivers on intermediates were told by Jeff, "Are you sure you want to go out on intermediates? These are wet tyre conditions."
Yeah, I think there's a niche market for Jeff being right. I think I'm an advocate of Jeff's ability to predict a rain, sort of a right tyre and weather condition during a race. Anywhere else, ignore him. I think you've got to use the other drivers as a bit of a benchmark, haven't you, qualifying for the right tyre to be on.
Yeah. Again, that was another mistake I made. I was one of the first ones to leave the pit, and yeah, it's not like me. I normally hang about till a few minutes in. Yeah.
Well, not much going on right now, so if you want to flick over to another stream for a little while and come back later.
I'll tell you, the UK race on Tuesday, that was a good one.
Yeah, have a look at that, and then just tune back in about 20 minutes. Watching Marcel driving, just hoping. Come on, Marcel. Make a move, sir. Something developing here. Britse. I think he'll probably wait until it hopefully dries up, won't he? Unless he's actually forced to pit by tyre wear.
Well, he'll be pretty much forced in about 4 laps or so. Maybe a little bit longer. Again, this is why I can't really get my head around why Boy come in quite so early, because he could have stretched them out and given himself some options later on, but he's now sort of tied in. Yeah, but Nicky does have the option now, and then if the rain does stop, so he can quite easily pit for the. He can play it safe and go for the medium tyre, or it might stop raining a bit later on, and he'll be able to pit for the soft.
Indeed. Little Zekema as well, also sort of starting to reel in Guido Ocean as well for that final point on offer in P10. Aston Eaglemeers can start to reel in Silverstone here. Silverstone be getting a message. Aston behind.
Sander Hermans has just allowed Boy to pass him.
All team orders down at the
it's Wellington.
Ferrari garage.
It's very much a role reversal for Boy Williamson. Last season he spent most of it, well, pretty much all of it, as the so-called number 2 driver. There were many times where we saw him. Yes.
Visser's Sebastian Vettel.
That's right. Visser was on target to win the championship, as indeed he did ultimately do. But yeah, not without the help of his very obedient teammate, should we say, Boy Williamson. But Boy is in a new team this season with Sander. I'd pretty much call them equal drivers on terms of ability. It's very much a 50-50 relationship in this team.
Yeah.
But yeah, Boy will be very pleased to be allowed the opportunity to challenge for the wins.
Yeah, that's what he's been doing, isn't it? doing a lot of winning. Marcel droning, getting ever closer to Ari Cop, really zoning in. I always used to get a great run though out of Aintree.
Yep.
Out of Aintree and into Brooklands, round Laffield. They're just names you have to say with a bit of an old-timey
Twang.
1960s. Here they come now around Woodcote and darting down to tops is Ari Cop leading the way from Marcel Droning.
Yeah, old-timey BBC voice.
Yeah. Through maggots and Beckett. Up through Jabal.
Droney could have him here with a good exit. He's got full ERS.
He's close enough again. Down the hanger straight. And into Stowe they go. Yeah, just Ari's got something else over him on that, well, the whole lap really. Not pulling away from him by any means, but you can certainly hold him off.
Yeah, strategic ERS use. Oh, boys just got past.
Ish, has he done it? Side by side. Yeah, he's done it. It's P3. What Illumis can do if he can come back in at all.
So boy just 17 and a half.
Bit slippery.
Boy's 17 and a half seconds behind Nicky Visser. He was 4 seconds behind him, 4 seconds in front of him, sorry, before his pit stop. That pit stop cost 32 seconds or so. So yeah, he's gained a solid 10 seconds on him by pitting before him. It's a hefty undercut.
Yeah, he's done a really good job there. Be a nice lead for him once Visser pits, although I have my suspicions that he'll try and just drag that one out until this rain stops, which will sort of level out the playing field for pit stops.
Yeah, that does appear to be the strategy in the mind of Visser. Trying to get away with doing just one stop in the wet rather than two, like Boy.
Yeah. And Boy's starting to pull out on a Aston Eagle Mears behind him as well. Marcel droning always the same distance behind Ari Cop.
Yellow's in 2. I can't tell who that was for.
No. Yeah, neither can I.
As Niels Eekmer comes into the pit lane. 18 laps it's done on the intermediate tyres. So he was the last one to actually go on to the intermediates, and yeah, he's one of the first ones, besides Boy, to change them.
Yeah. Niels Eekmer comes in for a new wing and new intermediates. Could bring Peter Phillip back into this. Oh no, he just unlapped himself. Oh. Okay, not quite yet. Sorry, Peter.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be enjoying this. I did have a bit of a conversation with him in the new Discord team chats that we have. Obviously, I drive for Renault, and I'm able to talk to the other Renault guys, as are each of the individual teams.
Yep.
The UK
Deliberate.
and the NL drivers. That's right. had a bit of a chat about strategy.
Oh,
and
sorry,
setups and
Adrian.
things. That's all
Sorry,
right.
there's a bit of a battle here, side by side through Stowe, Droning and Cop. Ari just losing out there as Droning had the inside line. Good work there from Marcel. Take P6. For all this time, patience was a virtue.
Indeed, yeah, we saw him. Saw him have a few goes on the last few laps. Yeah, finally made it work at the corner where it was most likely.
Coon Shippers has come into the chat here and said, "Too bad I lost the back end. I love the race though, and a shame I won't be able to finish. Aston, good luck, my friend." So very nice of him to G up his Racing Point teammate there, who's currently P4, doing a good job for the team. Eddie said, "Definitely better, Dan. You should use that." I'm not quite sure what he was referring to, because I don't know. I know there's no timestamp on the comment.
just everything.
Everything, definitely better. I don't know if it's my posh rundown of all the corners.
Oh, could be.
That's about it. All the comments. Yeah, Skipper's there saying, "Thought I might lose the front wing, but didn't expect to lose the wheel entirely." Yeah, shame about that.
Yeah, this game's a bit funny with terms of the damage model. Sometimes you can hit a wall fairly gently and completely lose the wheel, and other times, you hit it really hard and you just lose an end plate or something,
Yeah. Bit bananas, really, isn't it?
I think there's an element of sort of random number generator. There are RNG involved in some of the
roulette wheeling, if you can hit it, what might come off.
Some of the collisions.
Yeah.
I suppose there is to a degree in real life, with a collision with a wall. It's not exactly the same every time.
Yeah, I think there's that middle ground in the game where it kind of works, but there's that extreme end where you can hit it really lightly or really smack it and it doesn't have a clue what to do with you.
Yeah.
You might just really lightly graze it and then all your wheels fall off. Or you might completely tank it into the wall and then lose an end plate. You're like, right, back to racing. Yeah.
Boy Williamson now 16.5 seconds behind Nicky.
Yeah,
so Nicky's tyres
sealed a bit as well now.
Yeah. So if Nicky was going to pit for more intermediates, he would have certainly done it by now.
It looks like the rain is maybe lightening up a little bit. Starting to see a bit of a distinct line develop here. Yeah, but Sil's certainly not gaining any time on Visser in front.
Stapper, sorry, Stapper's got past Cop?
Oh yeah, he has, through Stowe again.
Yes.
And John Donkel's pretty close here, he might have a look here. Yeah, he's had a look there into turn 17.
Oh, very nice.
Nice move there from John Donkel.
Donkel's actually on older tyres than Cop as well.
Be interesting, these latter stages it looks like Ari's sort of lost that pace in the tyre. He was doing quite well to defend up until these last few laps. Back on board with Williamson here as he starts to close up build of it.
Oh, yellows in two. That is a Renault off. That's Peter Phillips again.
That's Peter Phillips.
That's the Cops.
Yeah, Eddie just confirmed it's my classic BBC voice that he wants me to to use.
Yeah, just about Ari Cop's tyres, it could be a tyre temperature issue. Either they've gotten too hot or more likely too cold in these damp conditions.
Yeah.
It's quite difficult to maintain the heat. They have a much smaller optimal operating window with the tyre temps, the intermediate tyres, than any of the dry compounds do.
I think the rain's now stopped, and we're now into that mist mode. There's just a lot of spray. Oh, Williamson's... Oh, he well held there through turn 2. Goes up on the back of Silver bit. That much Stappers? No, that's Philip again.
Yeah, so these... this is not what Boy wanted to see. He did not want the rain to stop, really, at any point.
This will probably be in... Depends how quickly it dries up, but either this lap or the next one, would have thought. Certainly looks to be drying quite fast. John Donkel closing up on the back of Mark Stappers as well.
Oh, sliding around cops there by Williamson. Four-wheel drifting.
Yeah, he looked quite uncomfortable through turn 2. In the nap. Barry Deepervein comes into pit now for some soft tyres to the end. Williamson gets on the dirt a bit there. Chapel. This is in.
Yep. So once again then, in these changeable conditions, Nicky Visser looks like he's come out on top, just as he did at Canada.
Yeah.
France, sorry.
Yeah. And Canada, wasn't it? Did he do Canada? No, that was still a bit.
Yeah. And Nicky on the soft tyres, of course, 12 laps to go.
Yep.
13. Boys on the medium compound.
Side. Interesting. This could work well for Sil then.
Yes. Boy may not have a fresh set of softs to use.
Yeah. That's probably what Sil would have wanted there, just to try and... Oh, Nicky getting a bit slippery there as he gets back on track. Inglemere's still out on inters. Be a last-ditch effort just to try and maintain something of a lead. I think it might be a bit futile. It's hard, isn't it, to try and stop yourself from trying to overcut someone.
Yes.
Yeah. When you're behind him, rather than just giving in and going, listen, it's not the right tyre anymore, I just need to stop now.
Yeah.
Although, to be fair, he is still pulling away. He was 7 seconds, he's now 10 seconds in the lead of Visser here. There could have been a bit of an inspired call here from Eagle Miss to stay out another lap. Definitely pulling out a gap on Visser still.
Certainly seems that way, doesn't it?
Yeah, 11.2 seconds now. Question is though, does he carry on? No, he stops now, good. He knows when enough's enough. So this could see him come out, I think he'll still be out P4, won't he? Between the two Ferraris perhaps, or maybe P5?
No, it'll be P5. 28.6 is the gap to Boy. Oh yeah, no, sorry, of course, yeah, it'll be P4. Boy will be ahead of him, it'll be P4.
See, I don't know, Boy's had a bit of a tricky, no, I think he's still going to make it. Just about, it's going to be close between these two as they come back out. Oh, really close in fact. Oh, is he going to do it? I think Eagle Miz might just have it if he gets a good dive on him into turn. No, concedes that place.
John Donkel with the move on the RE Cup round Stowe. Is that Stowe?
Yeah, Stowe, yeah. Yeah, not Ari's favourite corner anymore. But he seems to get past there quite often at the moment. I think Eagle Miz will be happy though to see Williamson sort of... He looks really uncomfortable on those medium tyres at the moment.
So, We said earlier on, didn't we, that it was the right move to go on to the intermediates early, but by doing that, he wasn't able to stay on the intermediates until the rain had stopped. So
I think it was a bit too early, wasn't it?
Yeah, even though it was the right thing to do, is it also the wrong thing to do in the bigger picture?
Yeah. It's like a game of chess, this game, sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sometimes
200 mile an
move your
hour
pawn a
game
bit
of chess.
too soon, and next thing you know, someone's putting their bishop in there, and your queen's gone, and it's all gone to shit. Yeah, Nicky Britse gets a 3-second penalty there. I'm not quite sure how the penalties are looking at the moment. For the drivers.
Stand by a moment, I will advise.
Thank you.
So 2 for Nicky, 6 seconds. 1 for Sil, 3 seconds. 1 for Boy, 3 seconds.
Oh, sorry, Adrian. There, Boy looking. He just looks so uncomfortable coming through 3 and 4 there. Eagles may right on the back of him now.
Eaglemere's actually
This will be it. This will be the move now.
It's an
Into
easy
Brooklands.
move. Such an easy overtake on the championship leader.
Yeah, just looking really unhappy on that dry compound still. Obviously a tyre that's a bit harder to warm up, isn't it, the medium?
Yes.
I think, or is it the other way around? Is it the soft that's harder?
No, medium slightly harder to warm up.
Yeah, so that could be why he's struggling a bit more on them. The soft runner in front. Great run on him though through Cops. Right on the back of him as we go into Nugget. But that extra grip that Egglesmere has got is catapulting him forward. How we doing on the penalties?
Sorry, penalty-wise, Egglemere's has no penalties. Boy Williamson has, did I say 6 seconds?
Yep. Derek said 6 seconds for Visser, 3 for the bit, wasn't it?
Yeah, 3 for Boy, 6 seconds for Devitt.
Oh, so this could be interesting for Eaglesmere then.
Eaglemere's only has 1 warning, in fact.
That's good stuff then. From the rookie. He's certainly put on a drive like he's been here for a while. Really taken to this track like a duck to water.
Quite literally. Yeah, really remarkable debut drive from him. I don't recall any other rookie doing quite so well in their debut. Although I think one of the Mercedes drivers last season did manage that.
Tourney or Quarry.
And it was your Tyson, actually.
Oh, yeah.
I think he did get a podium on his debut.
Aston Eaglesmere just still pulling away from Boy Williamson. 2 seconds now to that Ferrari driver behind him. Peter on the edge of 5 seconds. Still a bit. But still going to be enough to, I think, seal the E2 position for Aston.
Yeah, Aston was 3/10 faster than Sil on that previous lap. Both personal bests, of course. These nice and dry conditions and soft tyres.
Yep.
Purple sector for Mahadra's thing in the final sector.
Very good.
Boy Williamson actually purple in the middle sector on the mediums now that they are properly up to temperature.
Yep.
It's only Boyd's lap was only 3/10 slower than the fastest soft runners.
That's good stuff. Certainly seems to have. Yeah, you can see that that gap coming down a bit now, and certainly seems to be a bit more happy with the dry or the medium tyre now.
Oh, Nicky Visser going for fastest lap on this lap. It looks like 28.5 in the first sector. It's 3/10 faster than anybody else.
It's a little bit pushing now as well because Eagles Mig is sort of over 5 seconds behind him now. Mark Stappers goes fastest. Oh, who's that gone out? Peter Phillip.
That was Peter Phillip, and safety car, 7 laps to go.
Oh my God! What's gonna happen now?
Right, this actually helps. Oh, if Boy had a set of softs, he could use. No, because he'd still lose track position. It'd be difficult to regain.
Well, Nicky's staying out.
Yeah, I imagine they would.
Build a bit. They're going to stay out. Eaglesmere staying out as well. Boy Williamson's hitting. Yes. Thunder Herman's box. Thunder Herman's also stopping. The double stack for Ferrari. This could all go bottoms up.
Oh, it might go beautifully. Who knows?
Right, these are soft tyres on for Boy, so we had some softs in there then.
Yeah.
Worn. Are they worn? I can't. Hang on, let me have a look.
No, they're not.
Fresh. Thunder Herman straight in. It's not bad from Ferrari. It's a bit of a slow one for Zander, but not too bad. They've got them both in and out pretty well there.
Yeah, he hasn't lost track position at all because the gap to Jonig was quite large. So yeah, absolutely the right call. Then it's a free stop, isn't it?
Yeah.
Pit from P4 from mediums to softs, and remain P4, and he'll be right behind the leaders when he catches up.
Yep. You're still on for your winner call here, if he can get it through the field. Although there is so Nicky leads, but he between Sildavit and Visser, you've got the two Haas boys of Deeper Vein and Eekma, and so I've got a bit of traffic to negate. Oh, still getting very close there to the back of the Haas. Just a bit of a gentle nudge.
Dare I say it, but Eaglemere could actually win this race. He hasn't got penalties.
True, yeah.
There'll only be less than 6 laps to go once the safety car does come in. It won't be coming in just yet.
What's Williamson got in terms of penalties?
6 seconds.
So we've got 6 for him. Sildavit's got 6. How many has Visser's got?
3.
3.
Hold on, no, 6.
So they've all got 6 around him. Eaglesmere's got none.
Yeah.
Ooh. It'll be pretty interesting. Everyone that I told to go and tune in somewhere else has come back now.
Oh, it's been about 20 minutes, so.
Yeah, we've got 20 current viewers, so I think they're all back. To see this race get underway again. This is, I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to do it right now. This is, of course, F1 Tonight Netherlands, the Season 7 round number 10. British Grand Prix, and what a race it has been so far. Bit of rain, bit of sun, bit of wet, bit of dry. Soft tyres here, mediums there. Sprinkle some intermediates in. That's what you've got so far for this race.
Typical British weather, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Rain or shine, we go racing. What a race for the debutants. Although we've lost one, Kuhn Skippers, he certainly put in a good effort until that crash earlier on. But his teammate, who we're looking at now, we'll put in his name on the screen, shall we? Because I've just popped it in. There we go. Aston Eaglemeres, P3 for now, but with penalties of drivers in front, like Adrian said, could be on a bit of a. Could he win his debut race? Is this the new Lewis Hamilton? If he is, then we're going to have a great friendship, me and Aston.
Thanks, mate.
And he's got the best fans. Well, I don't think his debut did the podium. But even so,
Yeah.
if he gets a podium, he's still Lewis Hamilton in my eyes.
At the British Grand Prix, no less as well.
Yeah.
The safety car is in this lap.
Is in this lap. One more with Silverstone, so we can see. Well, so the thing is, do the Haas boys, they get out of the way right off the bat? I mean, they should, in theory. They are a lap down. Are they going to let him through, or is this going to really hinder Silverstone?
Well, the Haas guys have nothing to gain whatsoever by remaining in position, so yeah, ideally they would just pull to the side.
So, sorry, Nicky Visser is gone. No one really gaining much, although Boy Williamson really glued to the back of the racing point as we get going again. Silverstone trying to get past that first Haas of Deeper Vein, and he lets him through. Eaglemere's getting forced out wide a bit there by the back marker. That's a bit unfair. Boy Williamson gets through now. Oh, it's carnage! Oh, what a shame. Very Deeper Vein there, getting all kinds of out of shape and really hindering Aston Eaglesmere there. Falls back down to P7.
Yeah, that wasn't.
Get a move back on John Donkor.
That wasn't ideal, really. As I said, the back markers really should have just pulled to the side because they're a minute and 53 behind the driver in front of them. So absolutely nothing to gain whatsoever from taking position.
Yeah, that's a shame. I think there's a bit of a miscommunication there with Aston sort of, rightly so, tried to go around the outside of Deeper Vein, but Deeper Vein kind of held his line to the outside of the track and then moved to the outside of the track at the exit of turn 5. Of course, Aston was alongside him.
Oh, it was that was a big dive bomb from Eaglemere's to try and take that position. But I'm done.
Now that kind of element of desperation starting to creep in.
The gap actually between Eaglemere's and the leader is 6.7 seconds, so he's still within range.
Yeah, he is, of course. Zander Herman's not quite sure what his penalties look like, but he's within range of certainly still a podium, isn't he? Could this be Zander Herman's, Marcel Droning and Aston Eaglesmere on the podium?
Could well be. Zander Herman's also has 6 seconds. Seems to be a trend. Marcel Droning has a single warning which he got on the first lap.
So it could be on for. Depends how these two get on with the pace here. I really hope they can stay in it. Certainly deserve it. They've had a good race, the pair of them. Unfortunate there, that restart.
It was a lovely run by Eaglemere's around Copse. He's going to take 5th place from.
Take it easy. I can't watch it.
Oh, we've lost Droning.
No.
There was wheel-to-wheel contact through Maggots with Eaglemere's.
Yeah, I feel like that. I don't know if that was a racing incident or not. Really, it's hard to tell from our view. But they were side by side.
Yeah.
I don't know if Eaglesmere turned in a bit too soon or if Droning kind of didn't turn in soon enough.
But it's always a risk, isn't it, when you put a car side by side with another car through a very fast chicane.
Yeah.
Even the best drivers can make contact in that situation. It's very, very difficult to avoid it. So most likely going to be a racing incident, but it's just one of those things, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I've got the gap to leader now on the screen for the viewers, so you can see that all-important gap. 8.4 seconds at the moment to the leader for Eaglesmere, so at the moment not quite going to happen for him.
Such a tense climax to this race.
Yeah, it really has been. So Boyd Williamson.
Oh, he got me his first penalty.
Oh
3
no!
seconds. He's gone wide of cops.
Yeah, that's, if you're going to do it, that's where it'll be.
Out of energy in the car as well. John Donker's got an opportunity to pass him up the hanger straight.
DRS active as well. Bit of a sitting duck here if he can't regain some of that power.
John gets a good exit out of club, but he may take him into turn 1 or 2. Oh, Mark Stappers, we've lost him. And I think there was a collision with Hazzah thing. Because Hazzah thing is in the wall as well, around the same sort of position. Didn't see that one myself.
That must have happened around Stowe then, I would have thought.
Yeah.
Definitely got some red wing damage there for McLaren of Hazzah Singh.
Boy Williamson, another penalty though. That puts him on 9 seconds.
He now goes to overtake Silverstone through Brooklands. Put his car along the outside for a sec there.
Eaglemere's is still on for a podium with the penalties.
Yeah. It's all. I can't quite work out where anyone's going to finish right now in this top group. Find out in a lap's time.
No energy left in the McLaren, still the Vit. But Williamson's got a little bit of energy. I don't know if it's enough to get past from that distance.
John Donker way closer this time on Eaglesmere. This could be for position. I get my teeth in. There it goes. Toro Rosso goes through.
Check John's penalties.
Just that energy deficit now is really hurting the Racing Point. Aston Eaglesmere.
No penalties for John. He's had 3 warnings, but not a penalty.
Not yet. The last lap of this Grand Prix. Then Nicky Visser continues to lead. Boyd Williamson getting past Silverstone now. For P2 at the moment. We're getting a great run of speed there from putting away from the Racing Point driver. So we'll stick aboard with the man himself. Wears the centre helmet. Certainly pulls off a drive like him sometimes. And Nicky Visser coming through Maggots and Beckett's now. Through Chapel.
Seal, no.
Oh, Sil's on the grass.
That was on the exit of Chapel.
Oh, keep it
Just
together.
accelerated too early.
John Donker now can smell that opportunity here for certainly a podium. We'll go back to Nicky Visser now as he comes around the final couple of corners. Round turn 18. Made the right call on the tyres. Hit it early. Nicky Visser wins the British Grand Prix. Round 10.
Yep.
And Boyd Williamson drops to P3. Zarna Hermans to P2. John Donker to P2 now. Eaglesmere will finish in P6. Silverstone, Boyd Williamson dropping back as we predicted with their penalties. Ari Kopp's going to come home P8 for now. Marduk's to P9 there. Mahadwa Singh's going to come across. No, he's not. He's miles back. So he'll come across to finish P10 though. So the final point for the McLaren driver. Oh, what a race!
Fantastic drive from John Donker as well. Just crept into P2 by way of not taking any penalties in this race.
Yeah.
And yeah, just capitalising on other drivers' mistakes. That completes a 1-2 for Toro Rosso, their first of the season.
Yeah, great drive from those guys. And Zander Herman's, I think probably one of the first races this season where he's outraced his teammate.
Yes, I think this is the first
time. So he finishes
time
on the podium ahead of his teammate. Good race from him. The Ferrari's getting an absolute epic start from that to finish, to come out 2-3 after turn 1 and brought it home in the end for a podium and 4th place. Great points for Toro Rosso though. That could put them up in contention with. Actually, I think that might put them ahead of Alfa Romeo now in the standings.
Yeah, they absolutely will. Alfa Romeo scored nothing tonight.
Yeah. There's your podium. Nicky Visser, P1. His teammate John Donkel completes the 1-2 for Toro Rosso, and Zander Herman's P3 for Ferrari. Me and Adrian have agreed that the rookie, Aston Eaglemears, is your driver of the day for tonight. Absolutely brilliant stuff there to get unlucky there at the end. He could have been on for a podium with John Donkel and Zander Herman's there if he'd not encountered the back markers where he had. But a great drive from the back of the grid, up 13 places from 19th to finish 6th. Even that's a great result on its own, but certainly could have been on for more tonight. So I think for that reason, we definitely deserve it of driver of the day tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I think some viewers may suggest giving it to John Donkel there for that 2nd place with no penalties. But yeah, it's just an absolutely phenomenal debut drive from Eaglemears, and they're very unfortunate not to at least find himself on the podium after what we saw.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and just concur that John Donkel's also done a brilliant job, as have all the drivers that have finished. Great work to all of them. All of you, there's your finishes there on the screen. You can see. We have actually got time, so I'll quickly run through them. So we've got Nicky Visser finished 1st, John Donkel 2nd, Zander Herman's 3rd, Boy Williamson 4th, Sildervit 5th, Aston Eaglemears 6th, the rookie, Guido Urshan 7th, Marcel Droning 8th, Ari Kopp 9th, and Nisha Mahadwa Singh finishing 10th. And then Barry Dupavane, Nils Eekma, Mark Stappers, and Nils Eekma were the last of the finishers. Mark Stappers, Peter Phillip, Koen Skippers, and Miguel Torney, Damien Hartman, Baz Denbrain, Paul Quarret, all not finishing tonight's race in those changeable conditions tonight. I didn't realise it was minutes, seconds, milliseconds there for the total race time. I thought it was hours, minutes, and seconds. Looks like 93 hours that it took to do that race tonight. It's a long one. 4 days of just hardcore racing. But there you go. Nicky Visser's your winner. It's an Eagle day this evening. But that's been the British Grand Prix round number 10 of the F1 Tonight Netherlands League. We'll be back next week for Germany, the Hockenheim Ring. But the F1 Tonight UK guys will be there before us on Tuesday. That'll be Eddie and Guido heading up the stream on Tuesday. So make sure you tune in for that one. Have a look, see what's going on in the UK race. And then we'll be back next Thursday, as per usual, at 7:30. But for now, that's all from me. So it's one final Hazzah!
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.